All right, today we're going to break down a really interesting new concept, the idea of generating income with AI-powered comedy and, get this, without ever having to show your face. We're digging into a script for a tool that claims it can completely automate video creation. So let's see what this pitch is all about. So the whole thing kicks off with this really provocative question. It's designed to just make you stop and think about the biggest bottleneck we all face in the digital world: time. We're not just talking about saving a few minutes here. We're talking about a radical collapse of the time it takes to go from a simple idea to a finished piece of content that's ready to publish. I mean, what would you even do with that kind of power? But before we can even get to the solution, we have to really understand the problem it's trying to solve. And trust me, it's a big one. This part of the script really gets to the heart of why so many aspiring creators just burn out and, well, ultimately fail. This quote, man, it just nails a universal frustration, right? You hear this advice all the time: build your personal brand, monetize your passion. But what the source script argues is that this advice completely ignores the brutal reality of the work involved. Content creation is a grind, and that's a truth a lot of people discover way too late in the game.
And this right here illustrates that grind perfectly. Each one of these bullet points isn't just a task, it's a completely different skill set. You have to be a strategist, then a writer, a performer, a technical editor, and a project manager, all rolled into one. It is no wonder the script says most people quit. I mean, look at it. This workflow is a recipe for burnout.
So, after establishing this massive hurdle, the script introduces its proposed game changer, a tool they're calling AI Standup. The whole pitch is about using automation to just completely leapfrog that old, difficult, traditional workflow. And here it is, the core promise. It's not just a script writer or, a voice generator. The big idea is that it's an end-to-end production pipeline. You give it the simplest possible input, just a single idea, and the AI handles the entire creative and technical lift. This is a huge leap from other tools that only handle one little part of the process.
And check out how simple they claim this process is. It's literally 2 steps. Step 1 is your creative spark, the prompt. Step 2 is getting the final product back. The tool automates everything in between, writing the actual joke, creating a visual avatar to tell it, performing the voiceover, and even adding the super important subtitles. The focus here is clearly on making it radically easy to use. This table really drives the point home. On the left, you've got that mountain of tasks we just talked about. On the right, you have the AI-driven alternative where pretty much every single step is automated. It reframes content creation not as this multi-skilled craft, but as the simple act of directing an AI. This is the essence of business process automation, but it's applied directly to the creative world. Now, to quantify this massive shift, the script uses a very specific number: 6 hours. For a solo creator, that's actually a pretty conservative estimate for producing one short, polished video, from brainstorming all the way to the final export. That's a huge chunk of your day. And here it is, the punchline of the whole pitch. That entire 6-hour process gets compressed into a single minute. The scale of this isn't just about being a little more efficient. It's about fundamentally changing the economics of content production. It allows for a volume and a speed that was pretty much impossible for one person before. Okay, but here's the million-dollar question, right? How does all this incredible speed translate into a viable business? Saving time is great, but generating revenue is the whole point. The script argues this tool unlocks several specific ways to make money by turning this automated content into a tangible asset. The logic they present follows a classic, well-established online formula. Comedy is one of the most shareable types of content out there. That sharing drives traffic, which then consolidates into attention. And in the digital economy, we all know attention is the raw resource that you can convert into income. This tool is basically positioned as a way to mass-produce the very first element in that chain, the comedy. So the first model is probably the most direct one, using the tool to rapidly create content for faceless pages on platforms like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. The goal isn't to become a personality, but to build a media property at scale. By automating production, one person could manage multiple accounts in different niches, building up audiences that can then be monetized. We're talking affiliate links, sponsorships, digital products. It's all about building assets. Now, this second model, I find this one fascinating because it shifts from building your own audience to serving other people's. Think about it. Every local business, from a coffee shop to a real estate agent, needs social content, but they often lack the time or the budget for a big agency. This model positions you as a kind of micro agency, selling comedy ads or scroll-stopping content to these businesses. You use the AI to do all the production, which drastically lowers your costs and lets you serve a lot of clients really efficiently. And the third model is a tactical one. Instead of creating, those boring standard promo posts for affiliate products, you use the AI to wrap the promotion in humor. The comedy acts as the hook to grab attention, keep people watching, and make them way more receptive to the call to action. This is all about using automation to improve the performance and conversion rates of your existing marketing, making every single promotion more effective. Now, after laying out all of these really lucrative models, the script does something crucial. It pivots and injects a strong dose of reality. This is to manage expectations and to make it really clear that this tool is not some magic button for instant cash. And they state this very, very explicitly. The AI is a powerful force multiplier for sure, but it doesn't eliminate the need for strategy. It automates the labor, not the thinking. And that's a critical distinction for anyone looking to use tools like this in the real world. And this is what that thinking actually looks like. The AI can produce the videos, but you still have to direct it. You need the consistency to build an audience. You need to get better at writing those initial prompts and hooks. You have to test what kind of humor is actually working with your audience. In short, you have to treat it like a business system, where the AI is your production department, but you're still the CEO making all the strategic decisions. Finally, the script wraps everything up by creating a powerful sense of urgency. It's a classic marketing technique, yeah, but it's grounded in a pattern we see all the time with technology: the early adopter advantage. This timeline lays out the typical life cycle of any new tech opportunity. Right now, as the script presents it, we're in the early access phase where not a lot of people know about it. But soon, public awareness grows, and with it, competition. And that eventually leads to market saturation, where that initial advantage is just gone. And this is the core argument for all that urgency. In the digital space, momentum is everything. The first people to use a new tool to build an audience, they establish a foothold that becomes so much harder for latecomers to challenge. They capture that first wave of attention and build a position that's actually defensible. So, after breaking this whole script down, what's the final takeaway? What's the real core message of this entire pitch? Here it is. This isn't just about making funny little videos. It's a pitch about a fundamental shift in business leverage. AI is presented as the tool that dramatically cuts the cost and time of production. But it's the human strategy guiding that tool that will ultimately determine who succeeds and who doesn't. And so, the script concludes with a direct and very urgent call to action. It frames this exact moment as a rapidly closing window of opportunity. The final message is crystal clear. The advantage goes to those who act, not to those who wait. And it kind of leaves you with the question, is this a trend you want to watch from the sidelines, or is it one you want to get in on early?